the gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Kelly, to
Thank you,
inquire.
Mr. Chairman. And Secretary Yellen, thanks for being here. I watched a little bit of your time spent with the Senate yesterday, so this can't always be pleasant for you. I want to read something, though, because I think what we're missing here from time to time is the fact that we talk in Washingtonese, and then when I go back home in Pennsylvania, there's a complete disconnect from what it is that's happening as opposed to what we say is happening down here. So Charles Dickens writes a book called The Tale of Two Cities, and it starts off, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. It was the epic of belief, it was the epic of incredulity. It was the season of light, it was the season of darkness, it was the spring of hope, it was the winter of despair. We had everything before us, we had nothing before us. We were all going directly to heaven, or we were all going directly the other way. In short, the period was so far like the present period that some of its noisiest authorities insisted upon being received, for good or for evil. The reason I bring that up, when I listen to this administration about how good things are, about how fabulous we're doing, about how we've survived all of this COVID stuff because we have the ability to outspend everybody else in the world. So in essence, what you're telling us today is we are the sickest people in the sick ward. I just don't understand how we could become so disconnected. The average family in my district makes $54,000 a year. We subsidize somebody to buy an electric vehicle. We'll give them $7,500 funded by taxpayers, and we'll talk to the guy or gal who's making $54,000 a year and say, but you guys get no help. You get no help. Now, this idea about inflation, and somehow we talk that it's going to go away. Somehow we have it under control. So I think the real truth of everything is what is the perception of everyday Americans, so when they wake up in the morning, what they face, what they are looking at in their future, how they're going to make their children's future a little bit better. When 7 out of 10 Americans believe we are going in the wrong direction, don't you think it's time for this administration to say we need to make a course correction? Isn't it time for that to happen? I don't know that you can respond today. We're giving you 3.5 minutes for us to ask a question and you to answer it. And I don't think that's possible. I don't think that's possible. We talk about kitchen table economics. We talk about that all the time. So our revenue is going to be something like over $5 billion or $5 trillion revenue. We're going to spend, though, $6.8 trillion. If you reduce it down to kitchen table economics, that tells somebody who's making $51,000 a year, it's okay to spend $68,000. That's the number they understand. It's not all the hyperbole and all the things about this is the way it's going, and believe me, if you just follow this course, you're going to be all right. This is a freaking disaster. And I know that you're with the administration, so you have to follow a certain talking points. I get that. I don't understand how the smartest people in the world sitting in this administration can tell us everything's okay. Just hold your breath, and we're going to keep you underwater for a while, but you hold your breath long enough, and when you finally surface, maybe there'll be a reason for you. I'm not asking you to answer a question. I'm really not, because I don't think you can in 3.5 minutes tell us. First of all, I can't ask a question in 3.5 minutes like this. But the reason I ask it that way is because of the people I represent. Please, let's start looking at the real Americans, those people that make $54,000 a year and what they're facing when their gasoline prices have gone through the ceiling. One thing we don't talk about is propane, and people joke about it. We only use that in our summer grill. No, in Pennsylvania, in the district that I represent, we use that to heat our homes during the winter. It went up over 50% this year, so please, if you would take that message back to the administration as you all sit around at the tables, talk about how it's affecting real Americans in real ways every single day. Thank you, and I yield back.
Thank the gentleman.